What's up? What's up? What's up? Wednesday, January 8th, 5:19 p.m. If you're just joining us and it is not Wednesday, January 8th in the 5 o'clock hour, you can try and leave a comment, but just know that A, I probably won't see it, and B, if I do, I probably won't have any idea what you're talking about. Oh, but welcome, join, enjoy. Excuse me. What is going on, people? I don't know why, but I have just been crazy dehydrated. Oh, I know why. Duh. Wildfires, right? I'll bet you the wind is blowing that, what do they call it? Particulate up here, and it's hitting us all. Is that why? I feel like I am constantly thirsty. Like I need a cup of tea. I also discovered the other day that I think part of the reason, and I think Justine hit on this, I think part of the reason that my tea tasted awful because I put it in a coffee cup that even though I washed it, still definitely has like coffee residue. Like I need to get in there with like with some steel. I need to use metal on metal to get the coffee flavor off of that cup because I put some water in it the other day. Oh man, nobody wants to drink coffee flavored water. Super gross. So guess what happened today? Today we had an all-staff meeting. No one got fired that I'm aware of. And we got to see our new studios. And the cool part is that we got to hang out with all of the people from the other radio company that we obviously never see because they don't work for our company. It's weird, right? I mean, people in radio all kind of know each other, but we all don't really see each other anymore, especially these days because no one goes out. But like we run into each other just very occasionally at usually festivals. But this was cool. Hi, Mike. We got to say hi and hang out. And I don't know if you remember, like in the way back, KFox used to be owned by Clear Channel, who also owned KSJO. So I got to see Chris Jackson today from KFox because we're sharing the building with Bonneville, and Bonneville owns KFox now. Poor KFox. They went from Clear Channel to Entercom to Bonneville. They have been sold a lot, but they're still kicking. And so are we here at 107.7 The Bone, just barely. And so it's like we're creating a corporate cluster of two corporate-owned radio clusters that are going to be sharing a space sometime in the next few months once we move out of the Broadway and Battery location here. I am going to miss these studios, but it's going to be kind of nice to see people if I see them. It'll be nicer if I get my home studio set up and I can work from home. And then I still really want to plan to like hit the coast like once every week or two and, you know, do some surfing and maybe work out at Chasta's studio. But also if Chasta's studio is busy or if she's busy and doesn't want me like sneaking around her garage, we will have this studio in Daly City now where we can go. There's something a little weird about not being in San Francisco proper and being a San Francisco radio station, but also we're right down the street from where I went to college. So it's not like I'm not familiar with the neighborhood. But the neighborhood doesn't have a lot of culture in it. It's not like right here where I can go walk next door if I need to eat something. And I can go to the old ship and get like that killer baby kale salad with tuna. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. The other thing that happens over there that's really cool is free parking. There is a free parking garage, so I do not have to valet my car anymore. Although I was getting kind of used to valeting my car. What is going on? What is everybody up to? Am I just prattling on now? I did look at some stuff that I remembered I was going to tell you guys yesterday. Remember we were talking about like ultra processed foods? Girl Scout cookies. They're discontinuing a couple of flavors of Girl Scout cookies that I've never heard of. But that Girl Scout, I don't want to say Girl Scout cookies are a scam, but I'm just going to say that Girl Scout cookies are really bad for you. And I stopped I couldn't even pretend to want to eat Girl Scout cookies anymore unless they're Thin Mints, because they're just drowning in chocolate and mint. And those have enough natural flavors to kind of like get rid of the chemically flavor. But I tried some of the other Girl Scout cookies and they taste all chemically because they're all just like, they're not made with butter anymore. They're all made with weird oils and stuff. And I don't know if they're hydrogenated oils, but last I checked the ingredient list on Girl Scout cookies, they were terrible for you. And they're really expensive. And I don't know how much they really go to help Girl Scouts in the end. Hi, Jason. If anybody has a Girl Scout that knows like what percentage goes to them finally. I just remember I was a Girl Scout for like 5 minutes, like when I was a kid, and I didn't know anything about being a Girl Scout. Like I was a brownie, and well, chocolate and mint are the best. Like they don't have to be Thin Mints. There are other, there's Trader Joe's has like a Thin Mint ripoff. Hey Sam, we love you too. Dan, you got your cookies ready? Ready for what? To throw away because they're terrible for you? I don't, double fudge. Okay. Again, terrible for you. Terrible. I don't know if I would eat cookies that came from Walmart either, Jason. I'm more of a Whole Foods, Trader Joe's kind of person. But you know what? Check your ingredients list and see if I'm wrong. It's entirely possible. Maybe they're made with like real foods. But this is the thing that's going around lately, right? The ultra processed foods that people aren't even paying attention to. And there are ultra processed foods that people don't realize are ultra processed foods. Like flavored yogurts. Did you know that like yogurt in general is good for you, but flavored yogurt is an ultra processed food and there's like a chemical process that it goes through that's completely unnecessary. Brandon, the Girl Scout cookies, they are discontinuing a couple of flavors, but also they're terrible for you. I don't know how many years ago they changed the recipe, but like I took a bite of a Girl Scout cookie and I hadn't eaten one since I quit eating like garbage food entirely. And I tasted it and all I could taste was like waxy, chemically gross. They're not discontinuing Thin Mints. I forget which flavors they're discontinuing. Let me see. No, I didn't write it down, but they're discontinuing a couple of flavors. So if you're a big Girl Scout cookie fan, Google it. But also, again, Girl Scout cookies are terrible for you. And you would probably do better to just hand a Girl Scout $1 and be like, here, kid, go get yourself something. If everyone just gave every Girl Scout in their lives $1, they would probably get more money for their local troop than they would through the Girl Scout cookies. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that cookie scam has like reached a level of not corruption, but just corruption to where, you know what? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Although fact checking is, optional these days. Let's see. Girl Scout cookie. How much goes to troops? The percentage of Girl Scout cookie profits that go to the troop varies by regional council. 20 to 35% of profits goes to the bakery. Now that's weird, right? Why did 25 to 35% of profits go to the bakery if the bakery is also getting all of the operating costs, right? The regional council gets 45 to 65% of profits for programming costs, and the troop gets 10 to 20% of the profits. So basically, yeah, most of the price of your Girl Scout cookie is not going to the actual Girl Scouts. It's going to the bakery, it's going to the marketing, it's going to probably like websites, because now they're all doing QR codes, right? All the parents. This is the thing. When I was a kid, I literally had to go door to door, knocking on people's doors and be like, hi, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies? Because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like the whole time I was a brownie, we didn't have to do any of that stuff, right? But then I became a Girl Scout and they're like, well, now you got to earn your keep, girl. And I was like, I don't know, 9, I want to say. Um, and technically I think I was a junior Girl Scout or something, because we weren't even Girl Scouts. And so they made me go door to door trying to sell these cookies and like really putting the pressure on with selling the cookies. But then at the same time, right, all the schools are going broke. So my school was like asking me to sell popcorn tins and garbage like that. And then also in the fifth grade, I was in band, and then we had to do a band fundraiser. And I don't even remember what the hell I was trying to sell on that one. And then at the time, I mean, it was just crazy, right? I'm like a 9-year-old kid and I'm out here like door to door asking people to buy my shit. But nowadays, everything's on a QR code and your parents just go to work and make everybody at work do it. Or your parents don't even go to work anymore. They just send out an email and are like, buy my kid's shit. Here's the QR code. Here's their link. Here's, whatever. And the kids never have to do any of it. So I don't know if I'm mad that the kids aren't involved or if I was more mad that as a kid I had to be involved. And then I never saw a dime, right? Like we didn't do anything as a Girl Scout troop at all. Like we barely even had meetings. And then the one thing that we did do was a sleepover at what they called the Girl Scout house in downtown Fairfield, which was like right where it was by the courthouse, and they called it the Girl Scout house, and it was some little shack that got donated. And so we had a sleepover there and we did like sing songs and make s'mores and whatever. And then in the morning, they made us get up early and clean this place from top to bottom. I was like, I'm pretty sure that me spending the night here overnight once does not like mean that I have to mop these floors and like clean all these bathrooms. And like, it was so weird. It was like basically they just had us spend the night there so that we could be their cleaning service. And I was like, and then I quit the next day. I'm like, you know what? Girl Scouts are dumb. Maybe it was just my experience. Maybe there's girls out there who had a wonderful experience with the Girl Scouts. I mean, it's all about your troop, right? But I don't know. I thought the whole thing was garbage. And so I'm just here to say Girl Scout cookies are made of garbage. They've changed the recipes to the point where nothing in them is everything in them is bad for you, basically. And you're not even really helping Girl Scouts with them. So don't get the Girl Scout cookies. Who cares if they discontinued flavors? They are trash. Sorry, boss texted. I got to do the thing. I love the song I'm playing right now, but I can't turn it up because you guys are here. So I'm going to put it in my headphones. Neener. You can listen online at 1077thebone.com or at the Bone app. Touching nothing's all I ever do. Softly call you over. You look here, there's nothing left for you. Almost there. That's what she said. And tomorrow is happening. Excellent. Excellent. It's Ballroom Blitz by Sweet. Oops. Almost replied to the wrong text. There we go. You know, it's funny. A friend of mine asked me a question the other day and said, didn't ask me. He did it on the Book of Faces. He was like, is there a song that classic rock radio has ruined for you because you've heard it so many times? And all I could think of was like, no, if I like the song, I still like the song. You can't ruin a good song by playing it too much. I will hear AC/DC Back in Black every day of my life until I die, and never will I be like, I'm tired of that one, ever. But what it does do is the songs that I didn't like already become unbearable, and I have to turn them off because I can't stand it. But those are rare. Yeah, Tia Carrere with Cassandra and Crucial Taunt. They did, that's the song they did, was Ballroom Blitz. All right, did I miss anything back here? Hi, Rodney. You don't care. It's not like they're going to kill you, Dan. Actually, Girl Scout cookies can kill you if you eat too many of them. And if you're a person who has like issues with things like cholesterol, or there's a lot of things. Mint chip frozen. No, I don't like frozen mint chip. You know what I prefer is the It's, right? Because the chocolate is on the cookie and the mint is in the ice cream. I like mint ice cream. I like chocolate. I wish somebody would make a mint chocolate fudge swirl because that would be delicious. But I don't like chocolate chips in my ice cream because I don't like frozen chocolate. I don't know why. It just bugs me. Yeah, sorry, Sam. Those Girl Scout cookies are terrible. Terrible on every front. They're not really helping out the Girl Scouts that much. They are they're made of garbage, and when you buy them, you're basically supporting the people who make them and market them. 90%. 90% of what you spend on a Girl Scout cookie. Dan, pastrami is also bad for you. Sorry, hate to break it. Pastrami is a cured meat, and it will kill you. So eat less pastrami. Rodney, you're totally into nosh these days. You're totally into nosh these days was getting a bit heavy. Oh, you were getting a bit heavy. Yeah, well, and it's not so much just the weight issues around these cookies, right? They're made of food items that are processed, and the processed food items are created in a way that is supposed to addict you to them so that you eat more of them. And they're bad for you. People who eat ultra processed foods on average eat like 500 more calories per day, just on average. And a lot of these snack foods are made to have a crunch on impact and then dissolve in your mouth, because if you continue to chew, it creates like saliva to the point where you become satiated. Like the act of chewing cues your brain that you've had enough to eat. So all these snack foods, they give you like an initial crunch and then they just dissolve because they want you to keep eating more of them. It's just empty calories of garbage at that point. You're not even really tasting anything. You're just eating on reflex. Oh yeah, I played Bad Company. Yeah, sorry, Sam. I know. I ruin everything, don't I? Brandon, what happens with the cookies then? The Scoutmaster is going to suspect they're doing stick-ups and slingshots. I don't know what happens with the cookies. I mean, honestly, I think that there are some institutions that we just don't need anymore. And I'm pretty sure that the Girl Scouts don't need those cookies anymore. And I think that and I'm not a parent, so this is really easy for me to say as opposed to do. But if I were a parent, I mean, I'd look at that Girl Scout money and be like, how much are we getting? How much are we really getting in Girl Scout money? And what's another way that we can make this up, right? Because it's 10%, you know, and what's a troop going to sell? $1,000 worth of cookies? I mean, how much are these girls selling? What is that, $100? 25% only of what, Mike? Because what I just read says that the girls are getting 10 to 20% max. So that means 80 to 90% of what you spend on these cookies is going to not Girl Scouts. Jason, I appreciate that your niece is a Girl Scout and that you want to support her, and I'm happy about that. But also, the cookies are bad for you. Figure out what 10 to 20% is that you would be spending on those cookies and just give her the cash. Hey, kid, I love you. Not buying your cookies. Here's a Finsky, because that's what you would have gotten for selling me these 2 boxes of cookies anyway, right? Here's $5. Like, seriously, like, think about it. Mike, you did the numbers already. Which numbers did you do, Mike? I'm confused. Yeah, Jim, you know, isn't that funny how the Girl Scouts are always having to sell cookies, but the Boy Scouts don't have to sell shit? I also, as someone who had 3 brothers, I know that the Boy Scouts were always doing stuff. The Boy Scouts weren't learning needlepoint or making, oh my God, these things that we had to do. It was so stupid. Popsicle stick art. At one point we had dough that was made from like bread dough, and then you baked it in shapes onto a jar lid. Like you were supposed to save a peanut butter jar, and then you were supposed to put this dough on the jar lid and then bake it so that when you used this jar for whatever you were going to use this jar for, again, not like it's not like you're going to refill the peanut butter jar, especially in the fucking 70s. But okay. And then you would put this dough lid on top of it and it looks stupid. I mean, just, again, just my experience, total waste of time. I don't think it's indoctrination, Dan, so much as just a poorly run organization, at least from my personal experience. I'm sure it's all better now. You know, they've had 50 years, 40 years to get it together. The best QR thing you've seen is a sweater being sold that says F you when you scan it. I'm not mad at that, Jason. Mike, I don't know what you mean. Why am I still doing swing? Mike, all of your comments make no sense because they're non sequiturs. They have nothing to do with the other ones. And they don't make any sense to what I'm talking about now. Throw some context in there so I can figure out what you're saying, please. Marlon, the Girl Scouts Mafia. Is it though? I mean, I guess, you know, with the girls being foot soldiers and the parents being the muscle that makes the foot soldiers act, and then the bosses taking all the money and not sharing it. Jacob, you think about now which Catholics were arrested? You even think about now which Catholics were arrested? I don't know what that means, Jacob. Brandon, there's always that one kid that has to pick up the slack for the other bums and goes for the regular school projects too. Yeah, you know, I honestly, I feel like it sets a bad precedent teaching kids that they need a side hustle. You know, like, this is your child. Your child is part of a community organization. The community should support the organization, but also you should support your child in this community organization. Why bring cookies into it? Or, you know what? If you want to bring cookies into it, go ahead, have a bake sale, but make a decent cookie. Make a cookie that has ingredients that aren't hydrogenated oils, you know what I mean? That aren't like mass produced, right? If this was like a local thing again, I would be very supportive of it, but it's not. It's a national campaign and most of the money doesn't go to the kids. So it's a national campaign of garbage food. Sorry. Not sorry. Hi, Chuck. Jacob, just in case your first comment didn't go through, did I feel like I was in a safe environment at the Girl Scouts and the brownies? Yeah. Yeah. Like our brownie troop leader was somebody I'd known my whole life and somebody I still know. Yeah, I grew up with yeah. You grew up around St. Raymond's Church where there was an attempted abduction. I don't think that has anything to do with the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts. Yes, sweet is awesome. Ballroom Blitz, sweet. Yeah, yep. Hey Terry, did you score some crab today on the crab boats? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because crab season, bitches, what? I know, I need to get some crab. I really do. Hopefully I'll have time this weekend to score some, but I don't know. There's too much shit going on. Jacob, I feel like you're going a little off topic here. Hi, Tish. What you doing, girl? Oh, Dan, you feel that way about Sultans of Swing? No, it's a terrible song. It makes me crazy. But I've always hated that song. It's off our playlist again, too. But when it was on our playlist, I used to delete it all the time. I'd be like, nope. And if I did play it, I would tell the story about how I was scarred by that song because when I was in elementary school, we had a music teacher who would play the song. He played the song in class and then he gave us a pop quiz on the lyrics. But when I was listening to the song, I wasn't listening to the lyrics. I was just like listening to the song. And he didn't tell us that the quiz on the song was going to be on the lyrics and that I needed to know the lyrics for the song. Plus, it was the goddamn 70s. So where was I going to get these song lyrics from? And I couldn't understand what he's saying because Mark Knopfler's a bit of a mumbler. And I'm like, what? And this quiz was literally questions like, who was in the park? I don't know. I don't remember who was in the park in the dark. So I got my very first D on a test because of that song, The Sultans of Swing. And ever since then, I have hated it. Jacob, I'm going to suggest that you don't ask Girl Scouts anything. I feel like they would take it wrong. Dan, you haven't had Girl Scout cookies in forever? Good. Terry, you went to Ray's Crab Shack? I am not familiar with Ray's Crab Shack. Mint chocolate flavored vodka sounds like it should be a thing. Ugh, probably is a thing, and I'll bet you it's disgusting. It's probably like puking up peppermint schnapps. Like, mint chocolate flavored vodka. Yeah, no. Yes, Brandon, red meat is carcinogenic. But cured red meats are extra carcinogenic, and that's what pastrami is, which is why it's a treat. I know, Orson, I'm sorry. I love pastrami too, don't get me wrong. I've been to Carnegie Deli. I mean, obviously, I couldn't eat the whole pastrami sandwich because that thing is like, but I have helped eat a Carnegie Deli pastrami sandwich because they are delightful. Hi, Justine. Oh, am I killing you with a Girl Scout cookie talk? You came in right when I was telling you that you can't eat them because they're terrible for you. You like the lemon and the mint. Aw. Do you know you could learn how to make cookies? Lemon bars are super easy to make and they're delicious. And they are still not good for you, just in the sense like red meat is not good for you, but they are not as bad for you as like a pastrami or a cured red meat. So like lemon bars are basically just like sugar, eggs, butter, lemons, more sugar. And I'm sure there's a mint chocolate chip cookie recipe out there that's just like mint extract with cocoa and milk, eggs, butter, sugar, flour. Brandon, you're a skinny boy that never gains weight, so you feel like you can get away with eating for whatever. That is not true. You could still have heart problems and not know it. Look at how many people in their 40s are like keeling over from heart problems they didn't know they had. And they're not fat people. I have a friend who was like, I want to say he was 39 when he had his first heart attack. And he was a jogger, and he had a heart attack while jogging. Yeah, so there are other factors. But you know what, Brandon? There are multiple factors. The choice is up to you, man. Oh, thanks, Terry. Dan, you're going to start going to more bake sales? All right, cool. Well, Brandon, I feel like the amount of sexual abuse in the Scouts on the Girl Scout side has been less than on the Boy Scout side. I'm not declaring it in any sort of absolute, but abusers tend to be men, and men tend to be Boy Scout leaders. There don't tend to be a lot of male Girl Scout leaders. Not saying it's not possible, just saying it's greatly reduced. But also the cookies are bad for everything. So think about it, Justine. Taste your cookies and see if you take one bite and then they start to dissolve, and how much you can taste after you've taken that initial bite and started to chew. Because that's how they get you, right? You get that one crunch, and then the rest of it just kind of dissolves. And so you have to get another bite to get another crunch, because at that point you're eating on texture and not on flavor. Try it. Let me know what you think. Boy Scouts now sell mistletoe at Christmas time. Okay. Hi, Brett. You think he means 2 to 7 rather than 7 to midnight? I don't know what that means, Jason. Was that whoever was saying, why am I on swing shift? I've been on swing shift. I've been on 2 to 7 since I came back. I was afternoons, 3 to 7, Monday through Friday from 2006 to 2011. I only did nights from 11 to 15 before I quit. And then I came back, and I've been on afternoons since, because I don't want to do nights. I didn't want to do nights when they bumped me to nights, but as a team player, I sucked it up and did nights for 4 fucking years before I finally gave up. Brandon, you wonder if I go through my parents' food cabinets and fridge, checking things out and replacing them? You know what? I do when I go to my mom's house, tell her how bad for her all that stuff is. You know why? Because my mom was the original health nut. And she got all that bad information in the 70s, and she's still acting on it. So she's still eating like 0-calorie flavored yogurts and margarine and all that garbage. So whenever we have a family dinner at my mom's house, my brother or my sister or I, or all three of us in collusion, will cook, and we will bring in our own ingredients. I will not use the stuff at my mom's house. I won't use her 0-fat mayonnaise and whatever. You know, if I'm making an aioli, I'm bringing the mayonnaise myself. If it's potatoes, I'm bringing the sour cream myself. Yasix, hey, look at that. Somebody's on, you guys can't see. Somebody's on Twitch. What is up? Yasix, so I have three platforms going at once, right? Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you see me talking to people, it's because I'm trying to read the comments out loud on each one, so that everybody knows what everybody else is saying. But yeah, so I will absolutely like point out to her how this stuff is terrible for her, and she just kind of doesn't believe me now, which is hilarious, because she's the one who like basically shoved all this health shit down my throat to begin with. And I don't throw out her food because that would be wasteful, but I do like point out that she needs to make better choices. Brett, you saw the Boy Scouts selling beef sticks and you gave him cash and told him to keep the beef stick. Exactly, right? Like how much How much of that beef stick is the kid actually going to get to the troop? Honestly, I feel like we'd just be better off if the kids stood out front and were like, just give us a couple bucks. We're not selling you anything. You don't have to take anything home. Just throw a couple bucks in. That'd be great. Here's our Venmo. Here's our GoFundMe or whatever. Yeah, that music teacher, he was a weirdo. He had this teeny tiny chair. I'm not kidding you. The chair was something like 9 inches by 9 inches square, but it was like 4 feet tall. And he was a giant fat man that was like very Humpty Dumpty looking. And it was super weird. What was his name? Mr. Raymond, Mr. Rays, Mr. Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds at Amy Blank in the 70s and early 80s. Dan, you had a music teacher that was obsessed with Paint Your Wagon? I'm so sorry. That is terrible. Right, Carlton? You love the song Sultans of Swing, and even you don't know who was in the park. You would have failed that test, and it would have been your first D. I am a very excellent test taker, so it's a rare occasion that I get a bad grade on a test, much less a D. Like, all my tests were like A's across the board for most of school. And then to get that D, I was horrified. Marlon, I just made you dry heave just by mentioning peppermint schnapps. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that vomited peppermint schnapps up in the 70s and 80s. Mostly in the 80s. Yeah. And then in the 90s, people were puking up the Goldschlager, the Rumpelmints. Yeah. Like, peppermint schnapps was garbage to begin with, but then we made fancy peppermint schnapps for some reason. Why? I don't understand. Rodney, you like when I posted pictures of the food that I made? Well, thank you. I haven't had time to cook. And to be fair, I don't have the refrigerator anymore. So for anybody who doesn't remember, there was a power issue at my house that killed my refrigerator. And I need to upgrade my electrical panel. So I've been using my wine fridge as the refrigerator. But obviously the wine fridge still has wine in it and then only has about this much space outside of the wine, which, most of which is taken up by the cheese. So I haven't really had time or energy to cook, and it's just, it's not actually that much work to do the baking, Justine. Once you learn how to make the cookies, like I can whip out chocolate chip cookies like that. I mean, honestly, I just would have to give them away. Oh, Jesus, Ricky, you scared the shit out of me when you said Jimmy died. But yeah, Jimmy had heart attacks. And yes, his heart stopped. And thankfully, the guys who one of the guys in the band and one of the guys who works for the band, both were divers. And one of them is a dive master. So they're both well-trained in CPR, and they saved him. They saved his life. Yeah, no, love Jimmy Chalfant. Jimmy and Kathy are just wonderful people. I'm hoping to see them on the Monsters of Rock cruise again in March. Hopefully they'll be on the cruise. I think so. But yeah, I do want to, and again, this will be something that happens, like, hopefully if I get the home studio and I'm working from home, I'll have a little bit of extra time, and then I will be able to prepare stuff and videotape it. I mean, it's not like I stopped cooking. I just stopped having the time to cook and film it for you. Sorry. I still cook and eat every day, obviously. Jacob, you need to talk about Carrie King. I'm going to hope that was voice recognition that misspelled Carrie King's name, because my voice recognition constantly misspells his name and it makes me crazy. Despite the fact that he's literally in my phone contacts, Carrie, but yeah, I'm super excited. What day is it? It's the 8th. Yeah, no, they're not I don't think they're rehearsing yet. I think they're going to start rehearsing in a couple of days. in LA, and then they drive up here the day before the show, which is on Wednesday, January 15th at the Regency with Municipal Waste and Alien Weaponry. Tickets are on sale now at access.com. And my interview with Mark Asageda, singer for Carrie King and Death Angel, I believe drops tomorrow. I don't know what time yet, though, because our social media guru is on vacation until tomorrow. So I anticipate hearing from her in the morning to find out what time she wants us to be ready to do the drop. Hold on a second. What is happening right there? God, my stylist is right. I do futz with my hair a lot online. Well, because I'm sitting here staring at myself, right? Marlon, today was a go to town day. You stopped on the way home at a local meat counter and got a roast beef sandwich. Nice. I love a deli sandwich. Oh my God. I dated a guy once because he brought me a deli sandwich every day while I was babysitting. We were together for 8 years. Dan, you hate mayonnaise? I don't care. I love mayonnaise. Hi, Dennis. Brandon, where do I stand on fish? Well, you can have, I mean, according to my research, you can eat fish 3 times a week without worrying about mercury poisoning. And I don't really like a lot of fish. So I like ultra white tuna, not ultra white tuna, but like I like albacore tuna. I like sushi. I like crustaceans, and that's about it. So for me, I don't eat fish a lot already. Sorry, I'm getting some weird alert, but it doesn't make sense. I got an alert on my phone, but then there was no alert to it. It was like my phone just or my watch just buzzed, and then there was nothing on my phone. Oh well. So yeah, just don't eat fish more than 3 times in a week. You're fine. I don't like fish, so fish supplements are super gross. And I don't know what it is, but even if I finally found like an omega-3 fish oil supplement that doesn't make me belch fish flavor. And I've tried freezing the capsules and all of the things that are supposed to work, but I take a fish oil supplement and I eat fish when I can. Oh my God, Sherry, seriously? You know what? I'm sorry. Not sorry. I'm not buying your Girl Scout cookies. If you really want me to support your kid, I'll give her $1 or $2. Because what you may have missed is that the Girl Scout troops that sell the cookies get between 10 and 20% of the sales. So 80 to 90% of the sales don't go to the troops. So you're probably better off just flipping that kid a 5 spot than buying 2 boxes of cookies, because those cookies are trash. If you're going to buy cookies like that, then get the Trader Joe's version, because A, you'll save money, and B, you'll have that money left over to hand to the kids. You know, and the Girl Scout cookies are made with so much garbage. They're just all bad for you. And they're not even that good. Like, seriously, I'm hoping that Justine will eat one while we're here and taste it, and then wait to taste the second bite, right? Take 1 bite and see if you chew it, if you get the crunch all the way through, like you would if it was a carrot or celery or quality food product. But I think you just get an initial crunch, and then it dissolves, and then you have to take another bite. And then at that point, you're just mindless eating on crunch and texture, and you're not even tasting it, and they're not that good. Studies show that's how ultra-processed foods and snacks get you. Ricky, speaking of kicks, Brian Forsyth and Shannon Larkin from Godsmack are doing a special gig this Saturday in Maryland, Ladders to Leaders. I haven't heard anything about it. And Brian and I follow each other on Instagram. Did he post anything about it? Why am I not finding him? Does he have one of those, like, here's my Facebook names? I mean, Instagram names? I know I'm following him because I see all of his food pics because that's basically what his whole Instagram is, and he's on the carnivore diet, which is crazy. Anywho, I'm not in Maryland. I can't go. Ugh, no, salmon. Nope, can't do it. No salmon, no fishy fish. Anything that even resembles a fish flavor or smell, I can't get near it. Makes me want to vomit. They wanted to make a play of something in your school that you auditioned for the Clint Eastwood part, Dan. I don't know what any of that means, dude. Smoked salmon. Ooh. Dude. Don't. Gross. Mike, your music teacher played Hotel California every day? It's a little weird. Rodney, my favorite to make or my go-to. Well, I've been making since I was a kid. I've been making chocolate chip cookies and tacos. So from scratch. So those are two things that I can kick out pretty quickly. You are correct, Justine. A wine fridge is at lower temps than a food fridge, which is why all my foods have to basically be really fresh. So I have to buy small amounts and then I have to use them before they go bad. You know what, Carlton? I would love to make my own mayonnaise. I just was always afraid of not being able to get the texture right. And I'm kind of particular about my mayonnaise texture. Hey, Mark. Oh, yeah, we have amazing sushi places. I Heart Teriyaki and Sushi in Concord is my favorite. I've literally watched those people's kids grow up. They're awesome. Tony and Crystal. Hi, Kevin. Oh, yeah. I love watching people make sushi. I love watching people cook. I've been watching that Pasta Queen on Instagram. I have to watch her with the sound off because she's a little loud for my taste. But I love watching her cook stuff, and everything she makes looks amazing. And at some point, I really want to just take like a month off and just do nothing but Pasta Queen recipes because I love Italian food. Maybe when the garden's in full. Kevin, your wife worked at Trader Joe's for 14 years and now she's at Sprouts. Good for you. Marlon, your mama cat won't eat chicken or roast beef unless it has a dab of mayonnaise. I don't even want to know how you discovered that. That's fucking weird, dude. My cats have an automatic feeder that just automatically feeds them throughout the day, the same fucking kibble day in and day out, and they don't give a shit. They just eat it because they're cats. Hey, Kat, what'd you miss? You tuned in right when I said fishy burps and Girl Scout cookies. Yeah. No, not the cannabis strain of Girl Scout cookies, although I will be a proponent of the cannabis strain before I will be a proponent of the actual Girl Scout cookies. Hey, Rodney. Oh, shoot. Do we have both Rodneys in today? It's going to get confusing, huh? Studies show that stressing over the purity of your food takes 2 years off your life. Lies, Brandon. Also, I don't stress over it, right? Like I figure out what's good and then I just stick with it. It's fine. It's actually really easy, the purity of your food, because you can see it, you can smell it, and you can taste it. If you can see it, smell it, and taste it, and it looks and smells and tastes like real food, it's real food. If it's got a box or a can or it's pre-made, then you got to stress on where it came from. Jacob, after Carrie King's Regency performance, the next metal rock concert you want to attend is Violence. I don't think there's a violent show on the books, is there? But yes, I love Nick Souza as well. I love both the Souza kids. I love all three of the Souza kids, I should say, because there are three of them and they are darling. At this point, I think I'm like Auntie Nikki to those kids. Oh, you got to go to work? Sorry, Rodney. Good on you, though. Happy your Friday. For the rest of us, it's Wednesday. Cool, Jacob. I'm not mad at you, Justine. You can have your favorite Girl Scout cookies. I'm just asking you to be present the next time you eat a Girl Scout cookie and then let me know how that goes. Like, what does it taste like? Does it taste like chocolate? Does it taste like mint? Or does it taste like a little waxy? Like, to me, those cookies taste waxy. They don't taste like the flavor. And like, because I got into this whole like healthy food kick a long time ago, I have dark chocolate that's like 92%. And sorry, I got to keep an eye on them. But if you eat a little teeny tiny piece of 92% dark chocolate, you know it's chocolate flavored because it's all chocolate flavor. Cat, it's like the word moist. Chicks just don't dig that, or fishy fish. Yeah, on that note, nobody needs to use the M word around here. Rodney, crab legs. Crab legs, question mark. I don't know what your question is. Is it that I like crab legs? Yes, I like all things crab. In fact, that'll be the thing I cook next. Ooh, crab cakes. Yeah. It's hard to film myself with the crab though, because basically I'm like all like deep in it, like all cracked, because I'll put on a movie. I'll binge a series. I'll just go buy like 2 whole crabs and then I'll just binge a series while I sit there and just like shuck my own crab. Brandon, you feel like if you ate nothing but animal products, you wouldn't be able to, you would not be able to shit. I know. That's what I said to him when he told me he was on the carnivore diet. I was like, how do you poop? And he's like, no, it's not a problem. And I was like, all right, okay. I don't know. I'm going to stick with just, some vegetables. And he does eat vegetables, but also he eats a shit ton of meat. I mean, it's like everything. And he does eat a lot of avocados. So hopefully that helps. But it's a lot of steak, a lot of eggs, and a lot of avocado. Like he's buying half and whole animal. He's buying like half animals and then just like meal prepping the shit out of like so much meat. Okay, Rodney Hobbs, what goes hand in hand? I don't know what you mean. I can't find your last comment. Your last comment was, oh, my favorite thing to make. I'm not sure what you're commenting to. You got to remember, guys, that by the time I read your comment, what you're commenting to, I might have said like 5 minutes ago. So give me a little more context in your comments so that I know what we're talking about. Ricky, you'll take some good video footage and share it on your page. Oh, cool. Maybe you'll get picked up by Blabbermouth. Justine, yeah, you don't like salmon either, right? Like, I mean, if you can eat it cooked just right, good on you, but I cannot. Nope. And you know what's annoying is I've hated fish my whole life. And when you're a kid and even into adulthood, it doesn't matter really. But now that I'm old, people stop asking me. But for the first like 35 years of my life, oh, I'm sorry, I don't like fish, but thank you. Oh, no, what? What do you mean you don't like fish? Yeah, I just don't like fish, but thanks. No, you have to try this fish. This fish is no, this fish is amazing. I'll bet you like it. And I'll bet it's because you like fish. Oh, no, I'm very particular. Are you, though? Really? Yeah, no, this is not a fishy fish. You've got to try this fish. Trust me, you'll love it. No, I really don't want to trust you because you aren't in my mouth and I don't want to try it. And then eventually it becomes obvious that they will not shut the fuck up until I eat a piece of their fucking food that I already told them 100 times I don't like and I don't want and politely refused, but they won't shut the fuck up. So then I take a bite and then I spit it out and go, well, nope, it's disgusting. Thanks for ruining my whole meal by dousing my mouth with your fucking fish. Now I can't even eat my food because everything tastes and smells like your shitty fish. Cool. That's what it's like to not like fish around everyone else in the world that thinks fish is wonderful. Makes me crazy. Hey, Kat, you're a private chef for hire? Hey, everyone, Kat's a private chef for hire. Give her a call. Oh my, one moment. Thanks, Kat, but I'm pretty cool with my cooking. Rodney, when you're not dieting, butter chicken and garlic naan. Yeah, but we've had this conversation before a billion times. When I go Indian, I go to the Indian buffet by my house. Although I will be honest with you, I think that they have got a new chef or they've got new recipes because my awesome Indian buffet was less awesome the last time I ate there. So if I eat there again and it's still like less awesome, then I'll be looking for a new Indian place. Brandon, did I ever meet Hal Sparks? Yeah. Nerd Halen. Nerd Halen plays on the cruise all the time. I introduced Nerd Halen like on a handful of occasions. And when I do, I do it this way, right? I'm all nerd Halen, nerd Halen. And then I make the crowd chant with me while I try to drunkenly like keep my fingers doing the right thing. But yeah. Hal's awesome. All the Nerd Halen guys are awesome. And they're really good. Yeah, they're very good. Kat, you want me to Google trans fats with Den GSCs? Oh, yeah, no, I've been off trans fats since before they were trans fats. Back when they were hydrogenated oils, I was like, oh, Dan, no, I'm not into competitive eating at all. Why would I be? That's just like, that's like saying, would you just hit yourself in the face multiple times to see if you could be the person that hits yourself in the face until you get a black eye? That's what competitive eating is. It's like basically hurting yourself for the entertainment of others. Good evening, Aaron. I am good. You know, tonight I'm going to go see comedian Tom Rhodes at the Punchline. So if anybody's looking for something fun to do this week, Tom Rhodes is going to be at the Punchline tonight through Saturday. And he is hilarious. If you were here yesterday, you might have noticed, you might have heard me tell the story about how Tom and I became pen pals in the early aughts, back when like people used to write on paper with a pen and put a stamp on it and like send it out into the world and wait for weeks for it to get to the destination and then write more on paper and then send it back. It's crazy. But yeah, Tom's hilarious. He had a TV show in the 90s called, what was it called? I think it was called Mr. Rhodes, where he played a teacher. You know, he used to be a long-haired dude. And I remember we saw him at the Punchline in Concord when there was a Punchline in Concord, and he was hilarious. And then I just kind of became a fan. And then when I got on radio, I think I reached out to him. I can't remember how we got in contact. Maybe I just wrote to him like out of nowhere or something. But yeah. But so he plays it. He used to live in San Francisco. He used to live in the Bay Area. And so he comes back to the Bay every January. Usually he does the first week in January, but it looks like he's doing the second week in January this week because maybe the first week was like not a full week or something. I don't know. Or maybe he had New Year's plans. He's a globetrotter. When he moved out of San Francisco, he went to Amsterdam and had like a late night TV show. And now he basically just travels the world doing comedy. He and, I should tell Tom, he and Whitfield Crane are basically kindred spirits, right? Because Whitfield Crane, I mean, he's got to have a home somewhere, but I don't know where it is. And he is just such a globetrotter. He's always going around playing music or seeing music. Sorry. People I know are being evacuated. Kevin, you like the tag-alongs, but not the fish food? Well, again, Kevin, if you're just joining us, Girl Scout cookies are bad. Only 10% to 20% max goes to the troops, and all the ingredients are trash, and the cookies don't even taste that good. Oh, Dan. I don't care about Clint Eastwood's Paint Your Wagon, but I'm happy for you. Brandon, the Liver King guy looks like a lobster. He's red from all the iron. I don't know what a Liver King guy is. Is that some weird online thing? Is that like a reality online show? Liver King? That smacks of like an online personality, doesn't it? Is it a guy with like an award-winning YouTube page that people follow? Also, liver is disgusting tasting. Like, it's great for you as a nutritional supplement, but it tastes worse than fish. I used to date a guy that was wasn't obsessed, but he ate liver like a lot. Like, he loved it. And you know what? He also never got sick. So good on him. I also never kissed him after he ate liver. I was like, oh, are you having liver tonight? Yeah, no. Nope. Let me know after you brush your teeth, because I am not getting near that face. Because liver's always with onions too, right? So it's just like, it's just a plate of stench. Chocolate chip cookies and tacos. Yep. That was me at like 8 years old, just cranking them out in the kitchen. Justine, what chocolate is really good? Hershey's Special Dark? Let me know when you get deep into the chocolates, Justine. Like, Hershey's is like gateway chocolate. Hershey's is like children's chocolate. Next, you're going to have C's. Once you've had C's, you're ruined for other cheap chocolates. And then you go from C's to only dark chocolate C's. And then you go from dark chocolate to like really dark chocolate. Wow, YouTube is better than Fake Box, Facebook. Oh, Marlon. Oh, did you bounce back and forth between Facebook and... Yeah, I think Facebook has the worst lag time comparatively. Oh yeah, Kat. No, I don't eat salmon. I don't eat fish. Again, don't like fish. Don't like fish. I can do sushi. I can do, like I said, albacore tuna, but it has to be really high quality. I can do fish and chips, right? So some white fishes that are deep fried beyond recognition and drown in some sort of sauce. Maybe. Brandon, would I recommend someone who wanted to get into rock or metal journalism to start with Substack and go from there? Sure. Why not? I mean, first off, I would not recommend getting into rock or metal journalism. I don't think it's a career path. I think it's a hobby. But if you wanted to get into it, I would suggest taking writing classes. If you haven't had college level writing classes, I would suggest doing so. But that's just me personally, because I can't stand when people consider themselves journalists but don't know basic grammar or AP style or anything related to it. But if you just want to be a dude who blogs and likes to talk about metal, fuck yeah, start a Substack, open a YouTube page. You know, anybody can do it, right? But if you want to be good at it, then make sure that you have very strong English skills and get an AP style book. I don't even know if they have books anymore, do they? You could probably Google AP style. Cat, you aren't in my mouth. Yeah. Yes, because people who have tried to feed me fish all my life have made me insane, trying to gaslight me into eating their garbage fish. Aaron, you have seafood preferences. Cool. Rodney, if you eat fish, you've cooked it. You can't eat at buffets. Oof, why would you eat a fish at a buffet? The only thing I would eat at a buffet that is an ocean product is like shrimp or crab, because it's usually safely handled and it's usually frozen until it's cooked. Jacob, you have a bone question. When's the last time Deep Purple was played? Well, you're referring to Highway Star, so that's two different questions. I played Deep Purple, I don't know, yesterday or today. I can't remember which one. But I have not played Highway Star because it is not a popular song. Carlton, Dover sole is usually fish that people who can't hate it can eat. I don't give a shit. I'm so sick and fucking tired of people trying to get me to eat fucking fish that I do not care. Do not come at me with your fish that you think is not fishy. Do not come at me with your fish that you think might be good. Do not come at me with fish, period. I will go to the fish that I want. No one needs to ever, 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 ever talk to me about fish again. Crab, different story. Fish, nope. Oh, and Kat Wilson, you are a private chef that does not cook fish. Well, whoops. You know what's funny is I've cooked fish. I don't eat it, but I've cooked it for other people, and they've said it was really good. I think you fish people, you people that eat fish have poor palates. Kevin, share some clips of it. Clips of what? This is that context thing, right? Because whatever we were talking about when you posted that comment was like 5 minutes ago, and I have no idea what it is. Justine, you like haddock, and you can even have it undressed, but you rather have it fried as long as it's haddock. Cool. Kat, you meant for the lady that was bummed I don't do Girl Scout cookies, wasn't directed at me. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, context, people, context. Hey, PJ. Oh, you must be just beside yourself excited that Kubla Khan is coming to Sacramento with Killswitch Engage and somebody else and somebody else. No, not Tom York, Brandon. Tom Rhodes is a comedian. Tom York is a music artist. Yes, I said Rhodes. Yeah, I saw that, PJ, and I was all excited to see Killswitch Engage, and then I saw the dates, and I was like, oh, there's another tour that's skipping the Bay Area. Cool. Rodney, our buffet is amazing. Only Indian restaurant. Oh, stop trying to sell me on the Indian restaurant in Alameda, or I will not go just because you keep bugging me about it. Do you guys know that reverse psychology can sometimes work on me? Yeah, you keep asking me to do something, I will not do it. If somebody calls me like multiple times for a song, I will get so irritated. I'll be like, now I'm never fucking playing your fucking song. Stop calling. Because it gets annoying. How many times can you say no? I don't want to eat your fucking fish. Oh, I appreciate the link, Ricky, but for some reason, StreamYard doesn't let me click on links. All it does is this. And that's no good. Oh, thanks, Rodney. I'm glad you had fun. Kat, you wonder if you should be joining in on this because you haven't eaten yet, and we're talking about liver. Brandon, Liver King is a dude who eats nothing but liver, but he also eats testicles and other gross stuff. So he doesn't eat nothing but liver. He eats liver and other gross stuff because he's gross. Why do people watch that shit? I don't have time to watch that shit. I barely have time to talk to you guys. In fact, I'm running out of time to talk to you guys. Let me see if I can answer the rest of the comments before we go. Because Yeah, I got like 5 minutes. Yes, Kat. Liver is also consumed with a nice Chianti and fava beans because serial killer. Ricky, you know I can't make it to Maryland by Saturday. Nope. Oh yeah, appreciate the link, but can't do it. Although I did make it to Maryland for the last Kicks show. That was awesome. It turned out I don't think they still have it because I haven't been able to find it since. But at the time, there was a direct Oakland to Baltimore flight that I managed to get. And I was able to get a cheap flight, round trip, Oakland to Baltimore to see Kick's final show. And it was epic. Totally worth it. And I was able to fly to Maryland for a weekend. Yeah, Kat, I'm with you. I can handle the ahi, but it has to be raw or just barely fucking seared. Or fish and chips. Yeah, I can do the fish and chips, but that's about it. Oh, Justine, you love C's? C's is the best. I love C's. Your aunt who lives in San Diego used to send you C's every year. It is the best. So my sister got me these homemade caramels. They're like, I don't know, they're like this big. And I mean, it's some artisan baker in Seattle made these homemade caramels. And I have my 92% dark chocolate. Plus, I have the Dandies marshmallows, vegan marshmallows. They're not vegan because I have a problem with meat. They're vegan because they just seem to taste better. I don't know why. And so I put those together and I made my own Scotch mallows from C's. And it was like, oh my God, it was so good. Kat, now you have to mention Stefan Shirazi, metal journalist reference. You already know what I'm probably going to say. Stefan started out working for BAM Magazine, and now there is no BAM Magazine. Stefan is 1 in a million. I mean, good luck getting that job. The dark chocolate at Trader Joe's is actually pretty good. You're right, Brandon. It actually is. I quit going to Trader Joe's because their produce was garbage. And I just got sick and tired of buying a bag of avocados that were already gross inside. So I just honestly gave up on Trader Joe's after so much crap food. I need to stop by there because they have these great garlic stuffed olives that I'm out of. Right, Kat? People who like fish try to gaslight you with their fish, and they don't understand how it ruins everything that you eat after you ate that stupid bite of fish. But they don't care because to them, it tastes like, I don't know what it tastes like to them, but they think it's great. They don't understand that they've ruined your meal because they have fish palate. Marlin, a good steak and lobster or crab would be the bomb. Obvs. Octopus or squid. I have had octopus and squid because surprisingly they wait, oh no. I think I tried squid and it was fishy. But the octopus was not fishy, but it depends on who cooks the octopus. Not a fan of Japanese octopus, more of a fan of like a Spanish tapas octopus. But for what it costs and for how intelligent the octopi are, I don't like it enough to really order it on any consistent basis. Kat, I don't even know what you're talking about with Dover sole. Fish MAGA. Is there a MAGA fish out there? I don't know how that works. Have fun at work, Jacob. Thanks for dropping by. Dan, you read somewhere that the most regretted degree to get is journalism? Well, that's fucking stupid. I mean, I use my journalism degree all the time. Not to mention, it's really transferable to a lot of places like marketing, where journalism degrees are highly sought after. I think what you read was wrong, but what do I know? Yeah, Kat, I wouldn't cook fish either. Gross. Marlon, you had a shrimp casada Mexican place. It was surprisingly good. Cool. Why is everybody telling me what their food is now? Oh, thanks, Justine. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's funny because I want to go see Tom, but also I'm having kind of a headache, and I think it's the air quality. So I might not be able to stay for the whole show. Your point regarding Stefan, you knew I was going to mention the C's Scotch, not Scotch Kiss, Scotch Mallow. It's two different things. The Scotch Mallow has the chocolate. The Scotch Kiss is just the butterscotch and the marshmallow, because C's geek. Dan, calamari. I'm okay with calamari. Oh yeah, that's squid, right? Okay, sorry. Squid, yeah, calamari's fine. But it's also deep fried and not fishy. But I think that there's a Japanese sushi squid that is, but I can't remember having it off the top of my head. A guy could be hot as hell, Channing Tatum stick of butter fine, and between the liver, testicles, and fish, just no. Yeah. Well, the guy I dated that liked to eat liver didn't eat it all the fucking time, and he was pretty hot. So I was, like I said, it was just a toothbrush away. You were trying to convince me to try. Oh, some guy's trying to convince me to try Dover sole. Yeah, I'm not trying anyone's fish. Brandon, you bet Maggie Haberman doesn't regret her degree in journalism. I don't think anyone regrets their degree in journalism. I think that Dan read something wrong, or he misremembers it, or he read something that was poorly sourced. Yep. Yeah, now that they're making a dark chocolate Scotch Mallow, it's kind of my favorite thing. But now that I can make my own at home, also my favorite thing. Dan likes the cocktail sauce, so there's that. Oh yeah, people eating live seafood is not my jam because it doesn't taste good. Yeah, Marlon. Well, I haven't found 95% chocolate. Have you? I've only found 92% chocolate. It's equal exchange. And I think it's called Total Eclipse. It's really good. Dan, you read that in USA Today? Well, they lied, or they poorly sourced their polling information or whatever. Because journalism degrees are very versatile. Marianne, you enjoy that Dover. I don't need to try it. That's all I'm saying. You fish people that like your fish, keep your fish. Just keep it. Keep it on your plate. Keep it in your mouth. Keep it in your belly. Keep it away from me. That's all I ask. For some reason, people who like to eat fish don't understand how people like me don't like to eat fish, and they cannot survive in our presence without forcing us to somehow eat fish, and it makes me crazy. Oh, Dan, I'm telling you not to believe it. But you know what? Feel free to do a journalistic style deep dive on the information that you got. Find the source. See how reliable it is. Yeah, most people don't regret their degrees. Unless maybe they just went to school to go to school. Oh, I gotta go, guys. Remember when I said I had 5 minutes? That was 5 minutes ago. It's Bon Jovi and Bad Medicine on 107.7 The Bone. I'm Nikki Blakk, and Bon Jovi not able to tour now that John Bon Jovi's voice did not recover, not even with that surgery that they really hoped would make it happen. There's not going to be any 40th anniversary tour, but there will be a Bon Jovi 40th anniversary Slippery When Wet box set coming out soon. Okay, yeah, guys, I gotta go and not gonna eat your fish. Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Again, just people who eat fish, just eat your fucking fish. Stop trying to get us that don't eat fish to eat your fucking fish. Just be happy that you eat the fish. Be happy that we can sit next to you and smell your fish. Like, honestly, we probably don't want to. In fact, fish eaters, you should probably ask the table, does anybody mind if I get this fishy fish? Because, ew. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to ask the table, but yeah, for real. Let's normalize not asking people to eat your fish, especially if they tell you they don't like fish. Or just saying, or when somebody says, no, I don't want to taste your food, right? Have you ever had people do that, come at you with the fork, and you're like, get the fuck away from me, man? All right. Good night, Orson. Good night, Dan, with your pork verde and whatever that is. Good night, Kat. And, okay. Good night, Kevin. All right, guys, I'm out. I got a comedy show to go to.